It's Caroline on Coming In Hot, and we are so excited because there's actually something really powerful in your tears, and it's something that I cannot wait to discuss. I have MJ Renshaw here with me, you guys. She is a fellow podcaster, author of How to Cry. She is the founder of the Being Method, and we're going to talk to her all about the science behind tears, and I can't wait. MJ, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
I'm so happy to have you here. I'm so excited.
Me too.
So I want to kick it off strong, okay? We're going to go back into your background and, how you kind of got into this, because I know you are a breathwork facilitator, and something that you really believe in is feeling your emotions, right? Mm-hmm. From a very young age, I have to just tell you this story because I think it's just to kick it off strong. My mom, when I was young, especially in high school, I had a boyfriend. He cheated on me with my best friend, right?
Classic.
Bastard. And Chris, I'm watching you. I hope he doesn't
Mine
watch.
was Thomas. Watch
See?
out.
Exactly. Anyway, when I found out, I was hysterical crying. Like, I can honestly tell you, it was like the worst betrayal at that point. My mom came in the room and she literally told me I had one day. She's like, get over it, get it together. She was like, you get one day to cry, you get one day to feel it. And she's like, you got to get over it and move on. And she kind of had that theory about a lot of things. It was very much like, buck up and get your shit together and keep it together. And I think from a very young age, we are always taught, especially boys, because I have two boys, so I'm very careful with that. But I think we're taught from a very young age that we're not allowed to show our emotions. It's like we are programmed to be robots. We're programmed to not feel, you're too emotional, you're too much. I had one tear and somebody was like, you're overreacting. I'm like, what? So it is what we're taught in society. And I think as we grow up, and I feel like you want to bash that. You want to break those stereotypes and tell us why.
Well, when I started doing the research, it started shocking me of if you hold in your emotions, if you hold back a cry, you increase your cortisol. And that was the first piece of information I saw.
And
I was
cortisol is not good for you,
that's not
correct?
good. That's our stress hormone.
Ugh.
So do we want to feel more stressed? No, everybody knows it's not good. And I was like, interesting. So then I started researching into the background of psychoneuroimmunology, which is a branch of medicine where they study the mind and feelings and how it affects your body. More not good stuff. So I come from the wellness world. So I'm looking at the anatomy and physiology of it. And I was like,
wait, MJ, because cortisol, I feel like stress, right? Doesn't it eventually lead to disease?
absolutely.
It's toxic for your body.
Bad. So we now know that if you hold in grief, sadness, anger, it can lead to cancer, autoimmune conditions, and dying early, just in general.
You were saying it's like 35%, right?
Yes.
Increases your chances.
Yes.
Which is, you guys, 35% is a lot.
It's comparable to smoking. So that got me interested in writing the book. And then also just understanding that taking wellness and health out of it for a moment, how do we connect with another human being? By being vulnerable, by sharing emotions. And I started thinking about society and all the ways in which us not being allowed to express an emotion for fear of being scolded or judged or segregated from other people, and how that affects us today. And I saw it as a major problem that I really wanted to speak out against, because like you, I had my own life experiences, and I had a lot of people around me telling me I was too dramatic, too sensitive, that I was overreacting. And that was just from me crying.
Right.
And that's not okay.
Like feeling a normal emotion.
It's a normal physiological process. Like if I sneezed, would you tell me I was overreacting?
No.
No, like it's just crying. It's a normal thing that bodies do.
Because it's like it is your body releasing something, correct? Like
Literally. So we have different types of crying.
Okay, tell me the different types.
So if you were to fall and scrape your knee or stub your toe, you would have tears of pain, possibly. And those tears release endorphins. So it stops you from feeling as much pain. So we know that if someone allows themselves in a painful moment, physically painful moment, to emote, they will feel less pain. If you have an emotional moment and you allow yourself to cry, say you're in conflict with someone, and
Like you're in a huge fight with your husband, let's just say.
100%.
Okay.
and he's going to say, you're being manipulative by crying, or whatever guys say, because they're trained to be uncomfortable with it. But what's actually happening is you're releasing oxytocin, which is the connection hormone. This is your body's white flag. You're trying to say, I don't want to fight with you. I feel sad. I just want to connect with you. That's what your body's trying to signal. You also will release cortisol. So when we cry, there's actual stress hormone in your tears.
Wait, there is?
Yes. And that's why a lot of people, after they cry, you feel a lot better. You feel more parasympathetic. You're in a calmer state. You're like, oh, that felt like such a good release.
It's like a weight off your shoulders. That is what you feel. It's a weight that feels.
You literally have released stress.
I mean, what?
I know.
Like, it's funny. We all think that it's a pill, a supplement, or
I know.
a spa day, which we discussed, right? That is like what's best for us. But it's really interesting how transformative and like it's actual medicine.
Yeah. And like, I think everybody listening, think about the last time you had a good cry. Maybe it was a long time ago. And we can get into that. If you're like, I don't cry, I can tell you how. But
we're getting into
that.
But
if you think about it, you don't feel worse after.
No.
A lot of the times. Like some people do. There's the odd person I hear where they're like, oh, I got a really puffy face or whatever. But a lot of people are like, oh, that felt good.
Yes.
That felt really good.
Yes. And sometimes you're sitting there and for whatever reasons, you're, like I always say, you're just feeling all the feels. Mm-hmm. And it's like there is something that is released. Like it's all building up.
Yeah.
And that's what it feels like. It feels like a buildup. And I think that's why it feels heavy.
Yes.
And then when you release it and you cry and you let it out. And sometimes like I've had the ugly cry. Oh, Let's talk about that, because that's got to be a level, because the ugly cry where you're
really releasing a lot of stress. The uglier you get when you cry.
Because I've been on the floor literally where you're holding onto your blanket and you're just like, whoa, like you're hysterical. That's like a real, your body cannot take anymore.
Yeah.
Because we were in a very stressful time in life. We were like buying a house. Like I was like, so it was the most emotional let out of like a scream, holler, cry. And it's like, that's the most powerful ones.
And it's good. Like that's better to do that than it is to like hold it all together or keep it in or stay strong. Like that whole mentality that you shouldn't let yourself feel what's happening in your life is horrible for us. And it stops us from connecting.
You know, it's true, because MJ, you know what the thing is? I don't consider you a real friend if you don't really tell me anything. If you don't share, if you're always happy and everything's great, like we're not really friends. Like love you, happy for you, like, you know what I mean? But that's not what I consider friendship and connection. It's like, I want to know the real shit. I want you to go deep. And that's kind of what you're talking about. It's like, if you aren't vulnerable with people, and it's usually when you're feeling an emotion, like you're crying, you're sad, you're happy, like those really big moments. Like,
I have a husband who's very logical. And when we first got married, I used to always say to him, I want to, well, they have to off balance us.
You're right.
Because I'm not, and he helps me in life.
That's true. That's true.
In our marriage, I used to say, you know, I really want more intimacy. And he'd be like, what does that mean? Do you want me to go down on you?
Right.
And I was like, no, that's not what I mean.
He's like, you want more sex? That's how they think.
I know. That's intimacy to him.
Yeah.
And finally I was like, what is it? What do I mean? And then we were talking on the couch one night, and he was like telling me about his dad and his childhood. And I was like, this is it. This is what I'm looking for. I want to know your soul. I want to know how you feel about the world. I want to know what's hard and what's good and how your dreams. Like, this is what makes me feel really connected and safe with you. And maybe that's, you know, relationship 101. And I had divorced parents. I don't know what I'm doing in marriage.
But it's true.
But I was like, that's what I'm looking for. And
we all hide stuff. Like we all have, like, I mean,
there's a lot of shame.
There is something that with John, I can honestly tell you after 20 years of marriage that some of our biggest blowouts, like some of the hardest fucking times, has made us closer.
Yeah.
And I hate to say, because I know a lot of people say they break up after that, whatever. And I'm like, no, I think that if you can really ride that wave and really communicate, I think that's what marriage is. That's how they last.
During fights, my husband will be like, I know we're going to be so much better for this. And I'm like,
I
It's
love
true,
that.
but right now I hate you.
So true. Okay, so tell me about, first of all, tell me your background so people understand, because obviously, what is breath work? How did you get into it? Give us a little background.
Of course. I started out as like a very sensitive kid.
Okay.
Lots of feelings. So parents of toddlers, I have 2 toddlers at home,
What are their ages?
2 and 4.
Oh, you're in the thick of it.
Big time.
Yep.
But this is all I have to say. This is my mantra for you parents if you have a toddler or young
talk about the
kids.
kids, just because I think this is where
It's
parents
helped me
have a nervous
so much.
breakdown.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. The
It's a lot.
crying can actually make you like really
Rage.
freak out.
Yeah.
What's going on there for the moms? Give us some advice.
Okay, I'll start by saying I'm not a parenting expert, but I do understand physiology. Kids don't have the mental capacity to regulate themselves. So when I see my kids having a full-blown tantrum, I think to myself, they are releasing stress. This is good. And I leave it at that. My job is just to kind of be there, say, I love you, feel your feelings, you're allowed to cry. We say you're allowed to cry in our house all the time. I say you're allowed to cry, and I just try to keep myself as grounded and calm as possible, and that's all I can do.
Because you're right. We typically tell kids to stop crying.
I know.
You're just like, enough.
I got sent to my room if I cried.
I'd be like, I don't want to see this. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
And like, get out.
Yeah.
That's
It doesn't make sense to me. You shouldn't be crying over this. But to them, it matters. Like, that emotion is valid.
So it actually is really important to allow our kids, like even in those tantrum years, even if it's hard.
Yeah, they're not being bad. They're not being manipulative. They are just little tiny humans having feelings.
And releasing stress that builds in your body. So we actually want them to release it.
Yes.
Correct?
I want them to know that having a feeling is okay. I want my son to be a vulnerable man. I want him to know that emoting is okay. I want him to have a healthy relationship with his emotions. I want my daughter to know that if a man ever says to her, don't cry, she knows that that's not good.
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny because you watching your kids now that they're more like, I'm more teens. And it is interesting. Like they are more emotional, I think, than I was, because it's like they do watch me cry, and I will explain why I'm crying sometimes.
That's
like
good.
where my mom would just like be hysterical and lock her door, and like she was just a mess, where I can maybe be a mess, but I will discuss it after, and I will say, hey, mom's just having a really hard day, or I'm just feeling all the feels today, or I'm just,
that's good.
That's good.
That's
right?
good. Like, you're a human.
And you want to model that for them, correct?
Yes.
Like if you're allowed to cry and feel your feelings and move on and feel good.
Yeah.
You want to
Kids, I mean, they don't do what you tell them to do. They just copy you.
Exactly. That's what I mean, literally, MJ, when I talk about getting up and getting dressed and just making an effort, it's like, again, your kids are watching you.
Yeah.
And how do you want them to see and what to do? So it's like, it's the same thing. Okay, tell us your background.
Okay. So I started off as that super sensitive kid.
Yeah.
I went through some really, like, my childhood was rough. A parent with addiction. I lost my only sibling, my big brother, in a car accident. And then my dad relapsed and committed suicide. And it was like bad, not good times.
Yeah.
Not good times at all. I ended up in university. I studied philosophy, and then I studied osteopathy. I dropped out kind of 4 months before I was set to graduate. My mom had a mental breakdown about it.
As they do.
As they do. I was like, it's okay, just watch. Started my own business, but I really wanted to work in health and wellness. I really wanted my own business. I started our Breathwork business, and it soared. Like, it did amazing. And I've just been on this journey of trying to help myself come back to feeling and being okay with that, and being in touch with the vulnerable parts of life, and being okay with being a very sensitive person and feeling all of life, and letting myself open up and heal my own trauma from the past. And all of my work has just been trying to help other people going through that as well. That's kind of my life.
But I mean, listen, I mean, going through that kind of trauma, I mean, I lost my dad, not like that, but again, that's a lot as a child to take on. And I think with the world the way it is, let's be honest, after COVID and things, like, we're all dealing with a lot. Our kids are dealing with a lot. We're dealing, marriages fell apart. Like, it was a really hard psychological, like, mental time, honestly, the last couple of years. And you see everyone kind of trying to get back. Everyone's trying to find their footing again.
Yeah.
And it's like trying to figure out how to feel all your emotions. Like, who are you now? What are we doing? How can you be the best version of yourself? All of it. And how do people get started? Like, if someone's feeling all the feels and they're like, you know what, like, I haven't felt anything in fucking years. Like, I am
numb.
I'm dead inside.
Yeah. I hear it all the time. Like, I haven't cried in years.
There may have been a moment that I said that. I have said it to John once. I have said, like, I feel dead inside. I'm so over it.
Yeah. And it's a simple nervous system thing. Like, you are just in a frozen state. You're frozen. You can't feel. It's not safe. So I always say you have to figure out a way to cultivate safety in your life in whatever way that you can. For me, I love breath work. If I do breath work and I lay down and I spend 15 minutes doing it, I do a recording or I just listen to music, I will cry. It will open up the floodgates for me. I'll be able to feel all the stress that I've been feeling, feel all the sadness, and then wake up and be like, okay, I feel better. That I'm like reset. But breathwork's not the only way to get there. I always say art is amazing. This is where art can come in. You have songs, you have movies, you've got a painting. You can go and look at it and be like, oh, this is touching on.
Songs will make me cry.
Oh, yeah.
They really trigger
trigger I always tell men, watch Marley and Me.
Oh,
you will cry.
But it's so. I mean, my husband has cried at movies. My son cries at movies, which I find fascinating. He's the one that's like, he's so kind of tough, but he's super sensitive when it comes to movies. You can look over and he's fully wiping tears.
That's so good.
Like, and I think it's so good. So I'm like, oh my God, he is sensitive. Like, he does feel things, because sometimes the boys really are quite cold and quite like, they don't want to show any emotion. And it's like, when you do see it, you're like, okay, they're human. They're alive. Like, it's okay.
But men in particular, I really feel for them, because they are conditioned that crying is bad. Crying is weak. Being vulnerable is weak. So they really learn to hold it all inside. And now we've got the male loneliness epidemic of all these men who are struggling with mental illness, contemplating suicide. Sorry to go to a dark place, but
it's
like,
true.
they are genuinely really struggling. And the research shows that a lot of that whole epidemic of male loneliness, feeling alone, is perpetuated by their lack of emotional knowledge. They don't know how to know what they're feeling, or how to tell someone else, or hold space for someone else's feeling. And it's not moral lacking. It's just that they have not been taught, because it's not allowed.
How do we change this? I'm sure there's wives listening and just being like, my husband really doesn't, like, he grew up in a household where, like, my husband, like, definitely not an emotional household. And not in a bad way. They're wonderful people, but you definitely don't sense that. Like, I think it would be very weird to see them all cry. If I saw John's dad cry, I'd be freaked out, honestly. Yeah. So you're like, how do we help these men?
It's a really...
Men, you need help. What do we do?
I think about it all the time.
MJ, what do we do for them?
So there's an Alain de Botton quote that I really love. He's a contemporary philosopher, and he says, if you want to change the world, go home and love your family. So I know.
Damn it.
But that's your son watching a movie and crying. You're already doing it, right? Having this podcast and this conversation, you're already doing it. I really think that the revolution that we yearn for, where the world is more loving and more kind and people are better to each other, it's in those small moments. I really, truly believe it. The, like, raising our kids in a different way.
Like, it starts at home.
Showing our husband that they could be vulnerable, and I'm still going to respect you, and I still think that you're a man.
Absolutely.
And
like, my boys have seen my husband cry.
Yeah.
And I think it's really important to them to really see that it's human.
Mm-hmm. And I think understanding that we cannot selectively block emotions. So you can't decide, I never want to feel fear or sadness, without blocking out love and joy and elation as well. So if you want to be a person who's going to feel the fullness of life, you've just got to feel it all. It's a gamble. I remember when I had kids, I cried, for days after having them, not because I was sad, but because I felt so much love, and I knew there's the opposite side to that. The grief was there too, because this moment's not going to last forever. Absolutely. One day they're going to move out.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I was like, oh my God, everything is so precious and wonderful. This is so overwhelming.
It is overwhelming. It's really interesting, especially I think when women become moms. Mm-hmm. Your hormones, the emotion you feel, I think it is so different from a man. Like, and it's not saying that they don't love them and everything, but like there is something about us. And sometimes I do think that the husbands feel like the wives are too emotional when it comes to the kids, or you're overreacting, or you're over the top. And it's like, no, I don't think you understand like what we feel for them. Like it's so overwhelming. And I think sometimes you do have to let it out in your room, because you do know they're going to leave. You're watching your greatest heartbreak, like them leaving you and moving on with their lives.
And you're preparing them for that. You're like, I have to prepare you to leave me.
Yes.
And there's grief in there. Like, you're just like, wow, I can't hold on to you forever. My job is to make you not need me, even though I want the opposite of that.
Yes. Like, it's so true. And it's healthy to feel that. It's normal to feel that. Is there tricks to getting yourself to cry besides like, so it's really those trigger moments, right? Like music, a movie, knowing those little trigger points.
So, I mean, I'm in the thick of parenting. I've got 2 kids running around naked at home, throwing stuff, like everything's a mess. And I find it hard to cry around them. Like, I'm just like, so like trying to clean up things. I've got a boy that thinks everything dangerous is the thing that he should do.
Oh God.
So I'm like always watching him. I make cry appointments.
You do? Okay. What does that mean?
So every 3 days, my husband says, go downstairs to the bath. I go in the bath. I will watch like wholesome TikToks about animals reuniting with each other. I will listen to the sounds.
Downfall that makes you the dogs on the street that are rescued and the coming homes, the surprises. I will be hysterically crying.
I know, yes. But that's good. That's art, right? All art is an attempt to evoke a feeling. This is how I feel, and I want you to feel that too. And it's so amazing how you can listen to a song and feel like you can do anything, or feel like it's like touching on how much you miss your dad. This is the purpose of art, is to just be able to get out of our minds, stop thinking about it so much. You don't have to have the whole story of this was what happened when I was a kid and yada, yada, yada. Just try to get into your heart and try to get into your body and be with what you're feeling. Because the research also shows us that what you're feeling might not be even something from your lifetime. We know we have generational trauma.
Yes.
So it could be something that's like from my great-grandmother. I don't know.
That's just passed down, right? Because we really do. We put a lot of our shit on our kids, like at the end of the day, as much as we sometimes think we're not.
But even just genetically.
Really?
Right? Oh, yeah. Like, it is actually, trauma can be held at the cellular level. So when you have a child, they're taking everything that your lineage has gone through.
Oh, crap.
I know. The body is keeping the score, and it shouldn't.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
I mean,
know.
people don't really understand like how really it's like how incredibly
It is
powerful
wild.
our like body and mind is.
Yeah. I mean, the study was done on Jewish people who had gone to, like, dealt with the Holocaust.
Yes.
And they looked at their offspring.
Yes.
So not dealt with the Holocaust. They looked at their offspring, and they had a higher likelihood of autoimmune diseases or getting cancer. So that's where we started to understand that trauma is not even things that have just happened to you in your own lifetime, but happened to people who are in your lineage before you. And it can be passed down. But the hopeful part of that, I mean, if you're thinking like, I've got Jewish people in my background, I've got Irish people who were in the famine, and I'm like, oh my God, this is not good.
Wow.
The hopeful part of it is that the way we fix that is just by living your life in an open, loving way. Allow yourself to connect with people and cry with them. Dance in your kitchen.
I love dancing in
Exactly.
my kitchen.
Put on ABBA and dance in the kitchen.
Yes.
That heals us. Like that
It really
That
does.
is healing. It's not waking up at 5 a.m., putting on your face mask, doing an hour-long meditation. That stuff is all good and well. But if it feels like work to you, it's not healing.
And it's not, you're not going to do it. You're not going to keep up with it.
Exactly.
It's always like when it's hard, you will find the excuse to give up.
Yeah.
That's why it's like keep it really simple.
Really
and that's why you're
simple.
like, it's just
Really fun.
literally just
Yeah.
look at your TikToks, listen to that favorite song, get
Go
into
to
the
your
bath.
go to the concert and cry. That's healing, right? But
Yes.
sometimes the wellness world is so funny in that it's adopted the notion that it has to be hard work. And
Yes.
it doesn't have to be.
I so agree with you. And again, it's like there is a moment where we need to heal our generational, like I say, talk about breaking generational vicious
Yes,
cycles
yeah.
because we all live them. And it is, you understand how it could really be passed down. That's why it's so important to heal and like take charge and take accountability for yourself and actually try to heal, because it's that important. You're passing it on
Yes.
to your kids and grandkids and everyone else. That's why it's so important to heal.
Yeah, it's very real.
Oh my God, MJ, I'm like, what's fascinating about it to me though is that, again, it doesn't cost any money. It's not, like, it's so simple and free and so good for you. And it's the one thing that we have been mainly told not to do. It kind of feels like the pharmaceuticals, where they kind of keep making you sick because they want to see you sick, because that's how they make money. No offense, but it's true.
I'm like, don't get me started.
But it's so true. I think we're waking up more and more. I was a pill popper. Like, I was somebody who took medicine for everything. Like, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm that, we grew up, my parents did it. I did it. And now in my 50s, it's like, I find sun therapy to be one of my greatest.
Oh my God.
Like, I put my face in the sun.
Yeah.
A little gratitude, just a little reminder of the things you have. And that heat on your face, it calms my anxiety, calms my nervous system. And everyone's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, put your fucking face in the sun. What are you doing? It's free. Like, what do you wait? Even a lamp on, if it's raining out, I will open the windows and turn lights on, because I feel like the dark doesn't help me.
Yeah.
So it's like little things that we avoid. And sometimes it seems stupid. It seems kitschy. It seems like, you know what I mean? It's like, put your feet in the grass. When people say that, and everyone's like, it's like grounding is real.
Yes.
Right? So it's like all these little things. What are your top, like, if you were going to say someone really in the thick of it, someone maybe hasn't felt something in a really long time, what are your first steps, MJ? Like, what is your best advice if someone came to you and was like, MJ, I don't know, like, I'm fucking numb. I feel dead inside.
Yeah.
Where do I get started? Like, what do I do besides read your book and join the B method?
I actually wasn't going to say that.
It's like if someone really, just a friend came to you and was like, MJ, like, I need a little bit of advice.
I'll say what works for me.
Okay.
And then I'll just say the general principles of it. So I like to have an orgasm and a cry.
Hell yes. Okay.
Maybe a nap on my husband afterwards.
Okay,
in that order.
Okay, tell me everything. Explain it to me.
So, like, I mean, orgasm, again, it's just a physiological process. So when you have one, you release so much stress. And for women, we release, again, oxytocin. So I feel so connected with my husband afterwards. And I feel good. Yeah. It helps me. I glow. It helps my skin. I always say my skincare. If we have an event, I'm always like,
have sex.
I have to have an orgasm.
Yes. Okay, so that is something. So you'll like look for it. Like, you'll be like, hey.
Yeah. Like, get in here. Work to do. And that's me, though.
Okay.
But the principle is the same for anybody.
And you can pleasure yourself, you're saying. You're talking about an orgasm, because not everyone's,
you don't have to have a
married,
husband.
divorced. So
I understand
you're talking about an orgasm, period.
Yeah.
It's
it could
really
be by
good
yourself.
For you.
It could be whatever way.
Ladies, don't be shy. That's another taboo subject.
Yeah,
that
I know.
Talking about sex, let me tell you something. Most women, I mean, only my closest friends will tell you a couple things, but like most women, it's like they're so shy, so quiet, and do not discuss masturbating or orgasms.
Why
is it so
like
important?
Pleasure, you're evil. I'm just kidding.
Literally.
I know it's weird.
But it's weird. I'm like, what do you say to that? How do we normalize?
My parents were really amazing.
They were.
Raising us with that stuff. So they referred to masturbation as the wild thing in our house, and it was fine. They would just say, that's something you do in your room alone.
That's what we tell the boys.
Yeah, just it's fine. Like, there was no shame.
None.
Nothing.
Ours too.
Every kid is going to do it. It's so normal. Like, it's really, really normal. I mean, I know people have their different beliefs and what it might be bad. I can't speak to that, but I can just speak to like the physiology of it. That is normal, and it does show us for the most part healthy.
Like, it's actually good. Like, I know everyone's weird and shy, but it's actually physiologically good for them. Releases stress, especially for boys. I think that's huge.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. So pleasuring yourself in some way, some sort of an orgasm, releasing that oxytocin, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But the principle is the same. So say you're like, that doesn't really work for me. Seek out something that's pleasurable. Follow the path of what feels good in life. Not everything has to be the path of to-do lists and what I have to do next, and shaming yourself into thinking, I haven't been living a very good way. I need to be more healthier, or I need to heal my emotions now. I listened to this podcast and she said I might, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not here to incite fear. The path literally is a path of like feeling more pleasure and feeling a little bit more free. Allow yourself to live your life. If you're driving right now, You could turn this off and put on a song that really fires you up and just live. Just let yourself be in the moment.
I think that's why people love going to like festivals and stuff, right? It really is just because it's like you are just dancing and music and it is just about feeling.
Yeah. When my house is in chaos, everybody's stressed. The kids are crying. My husband's walking around rubbing his temples. We will put on ABBA and have a mandatory family dance party, and it fixes everything.
Just when you said like, see, I light up because it's like in the mornings we blast music and get the day started. Like it could be 6 a.m. and we're like music, cooking breakfast. The boys are getting ready, and it's just like just put things in a good mood. Like sing, dance, move your body, and it's like all those things really are. It's so simple again, but it really is huge benefits, right?
Yeah.
Talk to us about the Being Method.
Okay.
And like how people join. Like what is it? What are they getting?
Yeah. So I got Breathwork certified like 10 years ago. When I dropped out of school for osteopathy, I was like, I really want to teach this to people, but I want it to be a little bit more scientific than what I had learned. We didn't learn any anatomy or physiology. It was just kind of like, here's square breathing, here's what it is. And I was like, I know there's more to this because I had just studied anatomy and physiology for 5 years. And I started looking at other programs and I couldn't find any that went into the science of it. It was all just kind of slides of this is this type of technique, this is that technique. There was Wim Hof, who's amazing, tons of men. And they had a very different vibe where it was like, do it, keep going. And I was like, oh, that doesn't really vibe with me. Like, I don't want someone yelling at me while I'm trying to like feel my feels and heal.
You're trying to relax.
I'm like, stop yelling. It's okay. We can take a break. I have a girlfriend who's like a business coach and she was like, just start your own. And I was like,
love friends like that.
Okay. So we sat at my dinner table one night and we planned it all out and I started it and it was a huge success. My first launch, I got accidentally pregnant a week before we launched.
No way.
Yeah. So the whole business has been built with like me breastfeeding. I've got a pump in my bag.
That's
like,
amazing though.
Yes. Yeah.
I think that's so empowering.
Yeah.
To women. It's like we're always told we can't do it all. And who said? And I'm not saying do it all because no, you can't do it all.
I know,
you know
I love that you said that because that is my advice. I think that you can.
Okay, good. Because I was like, I felt bad I just said that, but
No,
I was like,
I think that you can. You just have to have the audacity of Tim Ferriss.
Yeah.
Like he wrote a book called The 4-Hour Workweek and no one called him selfish or lazy.
Right. Right.
I read that book and I was like, I want to structure my business this way. So my business is quite passive.
How does it work? How do people join? Like, what do you do?
So we've got all of our certificates and courses. Everything is online. Okay. I've hired coaches to work with people.
Oh, we get a one-on-one with you or is it a group session?
I do host free group sessions on the app.
Okay.
So I love our community. I want to be there as much as I possibly can, but I've got 2 young kids and I'm sorry.
Let's be honest.
I love them more.
Mom gets it. Yeah.
So, my whole business is very much structured in a way where I get to be the type of mother I want to be and then also have my passions and write a book. Are there moments where I'm like, oh, this is a lot. I have these meetings and my kids are sick. And of course, like everybody.
As we all do. Yeah.
I read the Tim Ferriss 4-Hour Workweek book. I felt his audacity of being like, I just want to travel the world while making a bunch of money. And I was like, yeah, I want to do that except just have babies. I make lists quarterly. What are the things that I'm doing I don't like to do? And I try to find someone else to do them.
Right.
I don't have to do that. What are the things I like doing? I like this.
Yes.
Yeah.
I totally get that. I'm really good at the things I like to do.
Your zone of genius.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then we have other people who, honestly, I'm very grateful, support me, and are able to do the other things so that I actually am a great mom. And I actually can run a business. I can write the book and I can do the podcast. And I'm actually fucking happy.
Yeah.
Tell me about the book really quick before we go.
It's called How to Cry. You can get it on Amazon. I love science, so there's all the studies in there if you want that side of stuff. I've interlaced it with my own story and story of clients that we've had who've come in, people who are not criers or people in business who have wanted to up level but found, I feel like there's something holding me back. For them, touching their emotions and feeling the fear.
How do you bring that into the workplace? That's interesting you just said that, like a boss and you have a team and you're in the trenches every day and most people are fucking stressed out of their minds.
Yeah.
How do we bring this into the workforce so we make work environments a better place and a healthier place?
So my team's allowed to cry. I don't mind. I like, you can bring any emotion. I like to, I mean, I'm the captain of the ship.
Yeah.
So I like to cultivate this sense of like, yeah, like, let's be honest about it. This sucks. This problem happened. We can fix it though. Let's have a moment to kind of like
Release the
it
stress.
sucks.
Like, I'm upset.
It sucks. You're upset. I'm not going to like be mad at you, but you can be upset. It's fine. I always tell everybody that works for me, you can make mistakes. I make mistakes all the time.
Me too.
I
That's
will
what my
never
husband
be mad
constantly
at you.
says it.
I will
Yeah.
never be mad at you.
No.
We will just figure it out together. That's
Yeah.
it. And my husband says that too. Those
It's
men.
true. My husband. It's. I know. I mean, it's true though. Seeing that human side.
Yeah.
That it's. Yeah. We all make mistakes.
Yeah.
And like I work with women. I have young girls that, of course, are going to cry. They
Yes.
feel a lot of emotion.
They're gonna feel
Yeah.
emotions. I think I get asked this a lot. Like, I'm not allowed to cry at work, or
Yeah, like
in
what do
my
we
job.
tell these especially the men bosses? Let me tell you something. And some of the women are tough because they were
know.
brought up obviously
Yeah.
in a certain
Yeah.
environment.
There
but-
is a culture of
like the
you
Kelly
do not-
Catrones
you
that would
do not
scream at
bring
you.
that
And,
here.
yes,
Yeah.
like you were like, no one cries at work in business.
Yeah. Hopefully the world changes. Until then, you decide if that environment is good for me. Because I'm a very sensitive person. That environment would not be good for me. If I couldn't be authentic, I would just bottle it all up and it would literally ruin my life. You're spending 40 hours
Literally.
a week there. Like,
How do we open the door for this? Do we make like a room where they could go? Like, honestly,
That's a good
like
question.
it's true. Like if
Yeah,
these,
the cry
some of these-
room.
yes, like some of these huge rooms, like some of them have prayer rooms,
you
some
know
of them
what?
have this room.
No,
It's like, is there
I
a
love
fucking
this.
cry room?
So I bartended throughout osteopathy college, and I worked at a bar, and it got stressful. Like, it was.
Can't even
It got
imagine.
so stressful, and I was the manager. And we used to, when we would hire new girls, I would give them the tour, and there was like a closet, a supply closet, and I used to jokingly say,
closet.
"This is the cry closet. If you need to cry at any point in time, you come in here. If a customer's rude to you, whatever, you just tell me I need an appointment in the cry closet. You hop in there, and I'll take your table."
I love this.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what we start implementing. Honestly, like it's not that crazy because they do have rec rooms. You have sleep pods. Like you have
Yeah.
these like really, what
Yeah.
makes you feel good. Maybe there's like a fucking
That
cry
is
room.
a genius. You're a genius.
You're a genius.
They should have. No, you are. Both of us don't know where our phones are. We're geniuses. But
You guys only knew.
but that's a great idea. Like, that's such a good
really
solution.
love it. I might even like it's obviously we work from home, but honestly, I might make like one of the bathrooms or something and be like, guys, if you're feeling all the feels, like I get it, but like take a minute and go
Cry.
let it out.
And if you have employees, you don't want them to be stressed, because when we're stressed out, they're going to make bad decisions.
make mistakes.
Yes. You want them to be calm. You want them to feel safe. Safety is really, just from a nervous system perspective, the safer people feel, the better their performance is going
Because
to be.
what does fear do to you? Raises your cortisol.
It turns
correct?
off your brain.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it puts you into this state of scarcity, and your amygdala turns on, and we're not exactly able to make the most enlightened decisions. Think about someone having an angry freak out.
Totally.
It never makes sense. You're
never
like, what
makes-
is going, like, is
you know,
traffic
I-
really that angry? Like,
Right. And MJ, I was saying, because sometimes I talk about, when I say about getting up and getting dressed, I say it's like when you look at and you've taken time for yourself to get yourself into a good headspace where like you look in the mirror and you feel good, you make better decisions from there. When you're feeling insecure,
yeah.
for me, you make more fear-based decisions.
so true.
Right? But when you're feeling confident and feeling good, it's amazing
Yeah.
the decisions you will make.
Yes. I
Right?
love what you've said. I think I called it anointing. Back in the day when
Yeah.
like Egyptian goddesses used to like put oil on themselves and do their
Yes.
makeup,
Yeah.
like anoint yourself, make yourself, whatever that looks like.
Whatever that looks like. I always say it's different for
Completely
everyone.
personal, yes.
Yes.
But
But
that
take the time.
process of like truly seeing yourself and anointing yourself
Yes.
is magical.
Walking.
Yeah. It took me a while to figure out that if I wanted to be confident and I wanted to have self-worth, it wasn't in a book. It wasn't with a certain person telling me something or having a certain thing. It was just the day-to-day mundane choices I made and how to treat myself, like me, how
It's those
I'm treating
tiny
myself.
little choices you make every
Yes.
day is what makes
It's
the
so
difference.
true. Like, being like, you are watching the kids for 20 minutes while I do my hair. I
Yep.
don't want to go another day without doing that.
Yep.
Or I haven't been doing something for me in a long time. I started horseback riding again. That's me. I like get this moment of like, this is what I like to do. And I feel
Yeah.
good. I like me.
You being happy is the greatest gift
Yeah.
you will give to
A
anyone.
new study came out where it said the biggest predictor of kids' mental health is the
Mother's
happiness of the mommy. Yeah.
I literally sent that to everyone, especially John. I was like, John, see, I told you.
Yeah.
I was like, but I find it to be the greatest discovery. Like that came out and I literally was like, don't you want them to see a happy, satisfied, fulfilled, capable person?
And just in case anyone's like, you guys are hypocrites, you're telling me to cry and be happy.
But crying is happy.
Exactly.
There is something about releasing that doesn't make me feel weak. It does make me feel strong because it makes me feel like I'm an emotional human being.
Yeah. The lower you let yourself go in terms of feeling, like I'm going to allow myself to truly feel this grief or truly feel this sadness, the higher you'll be able to go. When you're just in this moment. Last night I was in Topanga doing a labyrinth, as you do, walking a meditation labyrinth.
I love it.
I saw the sun on the clouds, so pink. It was perfect. I started crying. And I was like, if I didn't allow myself to feel the low parts of my life, I wouldn't be here right now appreciating this beauty. I am so in love with life right now. Like I'm so happy. I wouldn't have that feeling if I didn't allow myself to go into the lows.
It's just like finding your happy in the hard.
Yeah.
Like life is hard. Like it's moments and finding those little moments that you can thoroughly enjoy and feel. And then you keep moving on.
Yeah.
Right?
And it's always something small. Just an old couple like hugging.
Don't even get me started. See, that makes me cry.
I know. I went up Runyon Canyon this morning for sunrise. There was an old couple on a bench hugging.
See, that you don't even know, or seeing an elderly person eating alone.
Oh.
Pure tears. I don't know why.
No.
It's so emotional to me. But ladies, it's okay.
It's fine.
Cry your eyes out. Tell your husbands I said so. Did MJ.
The world needs more big feelers. That's what's going to change the world. It's not people shutting down and not feeling anything. If we want change, I want the world to be more loving. I want the world to be more kind. We need people who are feeling.
I want us ladies too to remind you to allow your husbands to cry. It's like you hear a lot of the women and not all men are doing everything they want to do. They're not fulfilling all of their dreams. I will never forget one time a husband was very vulnerable with me and my friend's husband and said that he would have loved to have been a gym teacher because he loves being around kids, but he could never afford this lifestyle. It's like men too aren't living all of their dreams just like us. Like they have frustrations too. They feel too. And I think sometimes women, it does make you uncomfortable if your husband cries, or it does make you feel like they're not manly enough or tough enough or this enough. And I just want to remind us all that it's a really good thing to let them cry and feel what they're feeling too.
Yeah.
Because then your boys watch that. And it's like makes for a happier, healthier place in the world.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here, MJ.
Thank you so much.
Loved having you. You guys, please check out MJ. Get her book. Tell us about your podcast.
Yeah, it's called the Being Method Podcast. We've got an app, Being Method Breathwork. There's tons of free stuff on there. We've got a subscription. We have courses like Heal Your Body with Breathwork, where you can somatically learn to release anger, release grief, release sadness. And
gives you the tools.
Yeah. And if you love it, you can get certified in breathwork with us. We have over 400 breathwork certificates all around the world. Yeah, it's amazing.
That is amazing. Where can they find you online?
It's the best place. So Being Method Breathwork. That's the best place.
You guys, find MJ, read her book. I'm telling you, you guys, we need to start crying more. Thank you for being here. Please leave any questions you have, reviews, comments, anything. Give us a follow, give us a like. We really appreciate all your love and support. I hope you have a fabulous week. Love you all. Mwah.